Hey, what's going on, Juliet? Andrew here. I thought I might do a video then to write down um, what I wanted to tell you about the returns. Um, so there's a video back there on returns. However, I know the website's been given some issues. So I'm just gonna do a quick video to show you how. So returns are simple. Keep in mind that it's always good to have some capital in your PayPal account. Uh, to anticipate returns. Okay, um, the there's some cases where you make money on returns, and some cases where you lose money on returns. Okay, so it's always good to have capital in your PayPal. Just access capital. Never leave your PayPal like completely empty. Like if your profit's like $50, like you can deposit all of it, right? But don't make a habit of that. Always keep something inside of your PayPal. Okay. So how a return goes is you go to my orders, okay, and say it's this right here. Um, says this right here. You can just hit return or replace items, okay. I'm not gonna do it for this because I don't want to mess that up. Actually, I don't think I'm going to. So let's do this. I can't go through the whole process though, but anyways. Um, you just follow the steps here, okay? It's quite simple, okay? Um, select a reason. So whatever your customer told you, okay? Um, now, if it wasn't damaged or anything like that, if they just simply changed their mind or, it wasn't what they expected, like, there's consequences for them, okay? And they know that. I'm about to tell you what that is. Okay. But choose a reason depending on what your buyer said to you. Okay, if it's not there, like it's not crazy. Like I would just pick a random one. Okay. However, here's a little thing. Um Now I'm not this is up to you here, but depending on the reason that you choose, you may not have to pay a lot of money for the shipping label. Okay. Um like if I put different from website description, right? If your customer says, "Well, it's not what I expected," right? Different from website description, um, in which case, not all the time, but they won't charge you a hefty shipping fee to send it back. Okay, so just letting you know that. Okay, and this is optional as well too. So, anyways, so let's just say. Let's just say this was that. Okay, 1 second here. I go to next. Okay, now here's a different fees for a return label. Okay, um, what a return method. Okay, physical return label, sent by email is $25. Okay, 3 attempt pickup is $18. Okay, um, now if you do your own method, this is something new that they have. Your own method, meaning that you have no label. The customer has to provide their own label and ship it back, in which case you just would ask, well, let me just keep it simple for you. Okay. So I would choose the 3 attempt pickup. Okay. Um, which means UPS just goes there and tries at least 3 times to pick it up. Okay. Um, you go to next, and then you review to submit. Okay, so they will give you a refund minus $18, 23 or 25. Okay, just to touch on this, um, so it gets kind of complicated, but just to give you a simplified version, I would simply tell my customer what the address is for them to send it back to. Okay, um, and let them know, hey, listen, if you don't want to pay any crazy shipping fees, you could come out of your own pocket to send it back, and I could give you, a higher refund. Okay. So, anyways, once you confirm this on Wayfair, you're gonna get an email that basically looks like this. Okay. So this is a return I done. Like, I just put up a random one. Okay. Um, it was like for this thing here, and they give you the return label. Okay. So they're going to email you, or it will populate right here. As soon as you hit review and submit, the return label will populate where you could download it to your computer. Okay. It's PDF. Okay. In which case, you now just send it to your customer as an attachment on eBay. Okay. Um, yeah. So these are the instructions. I literally copy this. Okay. The return into the for my customer. We're sorry that your items for your order. I will delete this number because this is indicative to Wayfair. Like you replace it with the eBay order number. Didn't work out. To complete return, please follow the instructions below. Package the item securely in the original boxes. Okay. Remove the labels and stickers. Print the return label. So you're going to give them the return label in the attachment. Okay. And Wayfair is going to also email you the return label also. Okay. Drop off your package at UPS or FedEx or whatever it is. Okay. You don't have to put this inside there. You could not copy that. Okay. I just copy that. Um, and then sometimes I copy this part as well too, in terms of what happens next upon receipt of your return items. We'll issue a refund of. Now you could do the math. Okay, now here's the thing: on eBay, customers know that they have to pay for returns. Okay, they know that they have to pay the return shipping. Now that's up to you. What a lot of people do is they pass on the cost of the shipping label from their supplier onto their customer. So to let them know, hey, listen, you will get a partial refund of XYZ. Okay, they are aware that they're going to be paying a return label. So whatever Wayfair minus you and is going to give you, you're going to give that back to your customer. Okay, so in essence, you're not losing money. Okay, in some cases you will, dependent. But yeah, so you want to give that to your customer, and you'll be fine. Now, if the customer opened up a case against you for the return, okay, typically what happens is they put the amount that they paid for the item on hold on your PayPal. And if you don't have any money in your PayPal is going to be in a negative for that amount. That's why it's always good to keep your PayPal at a positive balance. Okay. They're going to keep that on, they're going to have that hold on your PayPal until this matter is resolved. Now, what happens is eBay will give your customer your address, your New York address, or wherever it is that you live, for them to send the item back to. Okay, they're not going to do that. They're waiting for you. They, as in your customer, they're not going to send it back to your address. So don't worry about that. They're waiting for you to communicate with them. So there will be a box where you can communicate and be like, hey, listen, ignore the address that eBay gave you. Please send it back to the address printed on the shipping label that you can print out. Here are the instructions. Thank you very much. Okay. And you ask them to close the case. And once they close the case, the hold will be lifted off of your PayPal account. If they didn't open up a case, you're fine to just communicate and do whatever you want. So that's why it's also good to also put in your description underneath I only ship to the lower 48 states that please, if there's an issue with the product, before opening up a case, contact us directly, because in many cases we could resolve the problem faster than if you were to open up a case via eBay. Okay, because when someone opens up a case via eBay, they're basically asking eBay to deal with it for them, and eBay has their own methods of dealing with returns, okay, which is not so much favorable for anybody, and it's a longer process, right? So you want to deter customers from opening up cases, or if they do, I would call them sometimes, right? And be like, hey, listen, here's the problem. I apologize for this. Why don't you go ahead and close the case so we could resolve this matter in a timely fashion? I'll send you the return label, blah, 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 right? So yeah, so you'll get this information, send it off to your customer with the return label, and you should be good to go, okay? Um, Hope that helps. There's one more thing I wanted to show you, something that I discovered on eBay. Let me see here. Okay, so let's look up an item here. So say it's this right here. La di da di da. Da di da di da. Okay, cool. So as you see here, it has a product rating. Now go through your items and see which items have this here. Not all, but some will have a product rating. Okay, what you can do is simply, people could leave you reviews, okay, without even buying the item, okay. I have several eBay accounts and I leave myself reviews, okay, and it works just like how Amazon works when you leave reviews for customers. It spikes the algorithm, okay, and it gives you a better position. Okay, so I will leave myself 3 reviews. I'll hire someone on Fiverr to leave me some reviews, okay, and it just works immensely. Okay, you can hire like just a few people, right? Pay like 10, 15 bucks, 10 bucks, whatever, to someone who has like multiple eBay accounts on Fiverr to leave you like a lot of reviews, and you can start to see a huge increase. Again, you don't need to buy the item whatsoever. They could just leave you a decent review. Now, again, not all of your items are going to have this, but search through and start clicking and find the ones that do, and you're going to start to see a increase. Okay, so there's a cool tip for you. Um, I think this holds the record of the fastest I've ever responded to you. And listen, I apologize for that. As you know, we have hundreds of students, and I try my best to get back in a timely fashion. It's not that I see it and I ignore it. There's just other people that I have to get to, right? So it's fair. Okay, so I'm not ignoring anyone, but yeah, I'm pretty much home all day today, so I answered all my emails. So anyways, if you need anything else, let me know. Much success to you. Bye. How do you end this godforsaken? Stop share. Oh, come on, my cereal's getting cold. I don't know how to stop this. Oh, there you go. Goodbye.